I don't want to do that.
Expiration date?
Is 0325. All right, all right. Hey, everybody, this is Al Williamson, leadinglandlord.com. Today is March 23rd, 2020, and we got some special guests as well as some distinguished new folks. Like we got Chuck G here. Chuck's in our Richmond, Virginia spot. We got a lot of our new Richmond folks on. I think this is your first national conference, right, Chuck?
That's right.
Now you behave, man. I don't want to have to kick you off. You
Stay excited.
all right, all right, all right. So we normally do let people brag about all their new accomplishments, and then we also brainstorm. But this day, I'm going to turn the whole meeting over to Yves. He's got an amazing new product that's really exciting. I want to give him a lot of time, and then we can do our piece on the back end if there's any time. Okay, so this can be a different type of meeting. Bro, you didn't give me an introduction, Yves. You didn't give me I don't have a long, I can't roll the scroll and it says here.
Oh my goodness.
Where's my hear ye, hear ye?
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, let me do it for you. Let me,
Okay. Okay.
Man, that is my, everybody please apologize. That was my bad because I have been answering questions from media and just all these different things, and it piles up. So when a reporter starts asking questions, I lose track of things. So Al, that's my bad. Please, everyone, my name is Yves Perez. I am the founder, chairman, and CEO of Workbnb. Workbnb is a SaaS travel startup. Now, what is SaaS? SaaS is an acronym for software as a service. So there's a lot of SaaS models that you've seen out in the past, such as like Netflix, various other types of things. But this is typically something you see in enterprise software as well. And because we're building a B2B platform, travel platform, we decided to go the SaaS model as part of our revenue model, which is very, very unique. Now, we are still in development, and we're going to build out this platform and launch this platform this year. We're very, very excited. But as I'm going to show you in our journey, we have like some big shoes to fill. There's some big things that we are going to attempt with this platform. How is that as an intro?
That's good, man. That's good.
Okay.
Go ahead and dive right in. We got 21. We passed 20. They're all waiting to
Okay.
waiting for the meet.
I just need to let me share my screen.
Okay. See if you can do it.
Okay. It says host disable screen share.
Okay.
Look, you fix me another drink.
How about that?
Okay,
Two
let me try
ounces
one
of
more.
everything except for the cream
see.
coconut.
Linda, I gotta mute you, sister.
Oh, sorry.
I want you whispering our secrets.
Okay.
Okay, everyone mute. Are you
Okay.
able to, brother? You able to take control?
Okay. All right. I think I got it. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Just a second. Okay. There we go.
Not yet.
All right. Can you see
There we
it now?
go. There we go. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience, guys. All right. So
Let's make it full screen though.
Oh, okay. You can't see full screen.
I can see it in go ahead and F5 it.
See, you're so good. You got the like instructions.
Yeah.
Okay, how's that?
Nope, it's still the same. Go right up there to slideshow. Go up to slideshow, click on slideshow. all the way up at the top banner there. You got home. There you go. Click on that, then go over to from beginning.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. All right. So guys, thank you. Again, my name is Yves Perez. I am the chairman and founder of Workbnb. Now,
Hey, wait,
you
wait,
know,
wait.
this slide,
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. Click on from the beginning.
okay, hasn't started yet.
No.
That's funny because it's showing that it's playing on my screen. That's weird.
We don't see it yet. Why don't you let's see.
Yeah, it's full screen on my screen.
Does anyone else see a full screen or is it just me?
No, it's Ron. It may be that he's not sharing sharing the screen. He might be just sharing a presentation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you just hit F5 and then click on that click on it.
Okay, so I'm clicking on it and I'm going to hit F5. Any difference?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah. This is where you need tech people. I'm a non-technical founder.
That's
so
all
this
right.
is-
We want you to work on us. We want you to experiment on us and get it all smooth. We're starting to see a little bit. I see you in note mode. And I see you still back. It's not
Okay,
it's still in presentation mode.
that's interesting. 'Cause
Right now you have highlighted the actual picture on that first page.
Yeah. Now I keep pressing from beginning, and it goes into full presentation on my screen. But you guys don't see it.
When you share it on your side, did you you share just the presentation or your whole screen?
Oh,
Let me
You
check.
should share the
I-
desk.
I think what's happening is you need to stop share and then go back into it. Stop share
Okay.
and then jump back in.
You guys are so nice. This is like the nicest group because I think everybody else would be chewing me out. They'd be like, "What are you doing? Can you get?"
I will
it
talk
right?"
about you when you leave.
We want our money back. We want our money.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So it's giving me the option of share entire screen
Yeah.
or window.
Well, you should be able to find your presentation now and then click on it.
Okay.
No, you're sharing a picture of me now.
Okay. Not still. Is it still?
No, I see a picture of myself right now
That is so ridiculous.
in a need of a haircut. That's not a flattering picture you're sharing to me, brother.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You look okay, but you may want to share the entire screen. Share the
Okay.
entire screen. I mean, no, share. So not just the window, but the entire. Try that.
Okay. So if I am here on my deck. And
Hey,
I
Vez,
share
if
the
push comes to shove, you may want to, I don't know how large the piece is, you might want to send it to Al, and Al, you bring it up.
You know, as far as the how making money to his kids if he died.
Okay, let me know if you guys can see it now.
Everyone mute. Everyone put yourselves on mute.
It's definitely legible, even when it's
Yeah.
not full screen.
Okay, let's go with it.
Okay, I'll go with it. I appreciate you guys. As long as you can see it, I can get through this, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, let me just jump into this. All right. So again, my name is Yves Perez. I'm the chairman and chief executive officer of a new online travel agency for traveling workers. Now, we all know the OTA models, so a new OTA coming to town is actually making a lot of news. Now, the famous investor, Damon John from ABC's hit TV show, Shark Tank, once said that the easiest thing to sell is the truth. And the truth is that there's a very unsexy, underserved niche in the world of travel today. Now, the problem is only a small percentage of business travelers get the red carpet treatment. Those are typically reserved for executives. But the majority of traveling workers, roughly 32%, get the stained carpet treatment. This stems from HR, office admins, and travel managers who are deciding to book motels and hotels due to a lack of workforce housing. And today's employers face the pressure of a labor crisis. That makes this a very interesting time for us. Now, our solution is to develop a native application that makes it fast and easy for employers to find and or set up workforce rental homes. And this is a very big idea because a workforce rental home is clearly going to be different than a vacation. In most vacation homes, you know, we're trying to do all the fun stuff to make it nice for families and kids and all that kind of stuff. But in the realm of workforce, what we're trying to do is bring fully furnished apartments, single family homes, townhomes, duplexes that are going to be strategically designated for temporary, midterm, extended stay terms for essential travel workers. Now, some of the features that we're going to try to get all of our operators to agree to is to at least put desks in all of the units. And that is because working from home is prevalent. It will be prevalent for a very long time. And there are studies that show that the United States will soon have 36 million Americans being able to work from anywhere going into 2025. That's a big group of people. All right, next screen. So one of the things that is really going to set us apart is creating standards for the platform. Now, we have developed workforce rental prototypes in Reno, Nevada. That's where we're based out of. And we'll be implementing standards and features such as, like I said, dedicated workstations and more throughout the marketplace. Now, some of these are not just going to be, you know, fast Wi-Fi and the things that we already have, but we're actually going to require that operators only list whole homes, not room sharing. We're also going to require the operators to have at least an LLC, an LLP, or be incorporated. That's how this is going to be a B2B platform. Corporations are only allowed to book, and they're only allowed to book from incorporated companies. Now, one of the other things that we are going to put as a standard is we're going to require regular pest control. We've had a lot of experience with this, and regular pest control will make the experience feel close to a hotel experience. And that's what we're shooting for, that there is a wonderful experience from one Workbnb to another Workbnb across the country. All right, let me go to my next slide. Now, guys, I'm very excited about this. This is about the user journey. And there's a lot of people that have been wondering, well, what's the user journey? What's so special about Workbnb? Well, the user journey supports third-party bookings primarily, and that is through an enterprise account. So starting here on the left-hand side where it says download terms and conditions, that's the first part there on the left. That's typical with apps. You would download it, you would agree to certain terms of conditions. Then the app is going to play a video, which gives them a wow experience, showing them what, you know, they could potentially rent. Then the company would set up an enterprise account. Now, what's going to be so unique about the enterprise account is that a company is going to be able to set up divisions. So if you're a large construction firm and you have a northern division, a southern division, a western division, that those divisions are going to have separate processes and controls so that they can book for workers per that division. And then billing will be handled accordingly. Now, next, we're going to allow office managers, travel managers, project managers to upload employee information and create teams. And then they're going to be uploading project details. That kind of data is going to be super valuable to you because for the first time, an OTA is going to tell you a lot of information, especially if you're doing rental arbitrage and corporate leases in certain properties where it's required to have a lot of information about who is actually staying in the unit. So you're going to have IDs as well as employee IDs. But what this freedom does is it gives the manager the opportunity to place people in your units per person. So let's say there's a 3-bedroom house, they're putting 3 employees. That administrator is going to be able to assign the employee their room and then give them their details. Now, here's the other thing that's super special, and this is very difficult to do. We are actually going to allow companies to select multiple properties from multiple operators and drop them into a shopping cart and then purchase at one time. That's how we're going to save them weeks, sometimes even months, finding housing, because on a typical OTA, you have to book one booking at a time, one search at a time. And in our process, they're going to be able to grab a 5-bedroom home over here, 5 1-bedroom apartments over there, and then 2 other condos over here, and drop it into a shopping cart and then go down the closing, the sales funnel. Now, rental contract. This is where we get very technical. Our software is going to have a corporate rental agreement. And this agreement is very forward thinking. We have real estate attorneys that are very much engaged in getting it right for all 50 states. But essentially, a corporation is going to enter into a contract with you as the operator. Now, when you set up your listing, you're going to be able to put your own terms and conditions. You're going to be able to put your own cancellation policies. You're going to be able to put your own rules, and that will be baked into the rental agreement. And then both you and the company will then e-signature, and that's when it will move down to payment. Now, this is very forward thinking because rental agreements are not the typical in our industry, but they should be. They should be the standard. And that's how corporations really want it. We have interviewed many for this app that are very excited to use the app because for the first time, there will be this part of the journey baked in, and they won't have to get their lawyers involved, and it just makes it a lot easier. Okay, next. Let's talk about the workers themselves. Now, we've identified various verticals that we're going to be attracting and 3 different trip categories. Now, the first trip category is the simplest. This is the one that is typical business travel. It's the sales reps, the recruiters, the executives, business development. Sometimes they go to conferences or they go to pitches. They are going to be booking for less than 30 days. And that's what we typically know as short-term rental. Now, what's great about this is that these are typically single travelers. They don't travel in big groups. So these are people that are going to be perfect for studios or 1-bedrooms. And that's, for a lot of us that have been in the short-term rental world, that's a great sweet spot, having a 1-bedroom or a studio that gets a lot of bookings. So the next trip category is one of my favorites. This is the 3 to 6 month area. And why this is so important is because we typically know this for like traveling nurses, other types of emergency frontline workers. But the other thing that we don't think about are engineers, journeyman linemen, IT telecom, but also those traveling on work visas. Now, in Reno, Nevada, we did a lot of these bookings, and we were actually able to get companies to lock down our units for more than a year. But what they did was they cycled these workers in and out. So it was a very like unique arrangement that, you know, they were handling these 3-month employees, but they actually locked down the unit for 12 months because they had more coming right after that, and they just cycled them in and out. So it's something that we're very familiar with, and we're going to make it a very fun space for you as operators if you decide to list on our platform. Now, the longest trip category is the most complicated. That is those that are traveling for more technical things, and they typically need to extend their stays. And the extending part is where this gets super unique. Now, to stay on topic about the travelers, you know, we're going to see a lot of doctors, surgeons, scientists, analysts, industrial general contractors, architects, sometimes even specialty construction crews. But the other thing that we're seeing a huge uptick on is corporate relocations and remote workers. Okay. Now, if any of these try to go onto Airbnb and try to book something for 15 months, it's almost impossible. The system doesn't allow it. So what they try to do typically when they're using all these other vacation rental platforms is they try to book for like 3 months, and then they beg you to extend or to block out dates. In our user journey, we're building it in. We're building it, and we're making it possible for them to want to do this. Okay. Now, let me talk to you guys about the market size, okay? Because that's actually something that a lot of people aren't familiar with. So in 2019, in the US, we had 464 million business trips. And out of those business trips, 290 billion was spent on business travel. That's a lot of money. And, you know, a lot of this is taken up with hotels. You know, again, you know, short-term rentals is only like a small sample of where business travel is spent, and we're trying to get a bigger piece of pie. So I know these terms over here on the left really don't make too much sense to a lot of, you know, non-technical founders, but the first number is what's called a TAM, which is total addressable market size. And that's like, well, how big could you get if you went international? Like, how big is the pie? You know, not how much of the pie will you get, but how big is the opportunity globally? And globally, it's pretty big. It's about 250 billion bucks. Okay. Now, the second number is like, well, what can you get nationally? Serviceable addressable market is what they call it. Well, you know, in the US, you know, it's about 58 billion spent on lodging. That's the typical term, lodging. Okay, 58 billion. Cool. Well, how much could Workbnb get if you were to scale this operation up throughout the United States? Let's say 25 markets. Well, if we were to get to 25 markets, and let's say about 200 units per market, effectively we could reach about $2.9 billion. Now, I'm saying this as a forward projection. This is something probably like 5, maybe 8 years down the road, but that's still a big number. Now, that's based on performance, hiring. There's all kinds of factors. You know, we have to, I'm talking about if lightning strikes and, you know, everything goes right, you know, it's a big market. Okay. But let's talk about the business model. So, you know, the business model is that, okay, well, who are you dealing with? Who is actually, who are you dealing? Well, we're dealing with corporations. And one of the things that we love about working with corporations is that they're super straightforward. They need what they need when they need it. And they have travel managers in these corporations. They have project managers that they are responsible for booking travel for workers. Now, to make this incentive, this platform, really like a good deal for them, we had to analyze, well, how many times per year do they travel? And on average, traveling workers that do that's their job, they travel anywhere between 3 to 25 times per year. Now, on Airbnb, they're going to charge you 17% no matter how many times you travel and no matter for how long you travel. So for us, the real money is being made in reoccurring bookings, repeat bookings. So that's why we're coming in at a 5% service fee per booking and per extension. So again, if a company wants to book for 9 months and they need to extend for an additional 3, they're only paying 5%. At scale, when they're booking for 30 or 50 or even 100 employees all across the United States, that saves them way more money coming to us. Now, again, the barrier to entry is that an individual person can't book for themselves. It has to be through the enterprise account. Now, for the rental operators, we took away the double dip. So, and on the Airbnb and VRBO, they charge you a service fee for every booking that comes in, that 3% or whatever, and whatever sliding scale, whatever they come up with nowadays. This is where we come in with the SaaS model. So for you guys to set up your account and to keep your account active, you're just paying a $9.99 payment per month, just like Spotify and Netflix. You're just paying a monthly service fee. Now that is not per door, okay? That is just for your account, okay? And the best thing that I'm promising you guys as part of this presentation is that you will not need to have multiple accounts, backup accounts. What if I get suspended? What if my listing gets suspended? No, we're not going to play these games because you're going to be in a rental contract. You're going to have the ability to do conflict resolution with your own client. We are not going to suspend your account frivolously and give clients money back because they come up with some crazy story. You are in full control as the operator. Now, we are charging you a $10 flat listing fee, but it's just one time, and that's per unit. And the reason is because we know there's a bunch of operators that are doing this at scale. They have like 100 units, 200 units, 500 units. When you're operating at that kind of scale, we really do need to keep a good tab on you. So we are going to require you to pay a $10 fee for each door, but that's one time for us to get your account really set up. And the other thing is, we're not going to do customer service agents right away. We're going to go the customer success route where you're going to have a designated account manager who knows your name, who knows everything about your account, and they know when something is wrong, and we're going to contact you first before you get concerned something's wrong with my account. We're going to have an alert system. So that's super cool. Now, on the other side of our business model is that we're going to work really close with regulators. We know that the municipalities are really cracking down on short-term rentals. You look at what's going on in Atlanta, Philadelphia, Las Vegas, even near where my hometown is, in Reno, up at South Lake Tahoe. Regulators are like, this is what it is. Either we're banning it or we're restricting it or this or this or that. In our model, you are going to be able to survive on a 30-day plus if you're in a tight market. So if it's hard to get a permit, if you've been denied a permit, we're going to be able to set you up with settings that you take 30-day plus bookings so that you don't have to operate under those short-term rental operation regulations. But if you do have friendly regulations and you do want some shorter stays, we're going to be able to set that up for you too. But here's the thing. we are giving you the ability to pay your own taxes. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen the headline, but Airbnb has been late on some of their TOT occupancy taxes, and regulators are like, hey, where's our money? Well, it's because Airbnb was promising to pay the taxes and they didn't pay the taxes. So now, OTAs are being regulated heavily. So we're already meeting with lots of city officials. Right now, I'm in Orlando, and we've already started to meet with lots of people about what we're going to do here in Orlando. But one thing that we're going to promise to you guys as part of our business model is we are going to engage deeply so that we don't get you in trouble. VRBO right now is also being sued by the city of Los Angeles. Why? Because they didn't comply with what the regulations were. They were supposed to provide the city information about the people that were booking units, and they didn't do it. It was in the regulations. So again, if you're going to do short term on our platform in Los Angeles and you have a permit, you can expect us to comply with regulators. Now, this model is meant to do one big thing as well. It is to keep the employees happy, because that is one of the biggest goals of these companies right now. We are in a labor crisis. Employees have been quitting for months. Jobs they've been with for years. And they said, no more. I'm tired of being overworked. I'm being underpaid. I'm not being valued. And in construction and various other types of verticals, this is just as prevalent. In fact, we have talked to a construction company just recently. It's called Layton Construction. It's the 6th largest hospital builder in the United States. And when we did their client interview, we asked them, what is your number one priority for your company this year? Employee retention. Why? Well, employees right now, they're just kind of like fed up. And that's why we're excited about your platform, because they don't want to be put in motels and hotels for another project. They're just over it. They're hearing about other companies putting them in apartments and this and that, and that's what they want. And that's what we're hoping that Workbnb will do for us. So we're very excited about your platform. When is it available? That's always the pressure. Is when is it going to be available? Now, I want to break down competition analysis for you guys, because that's actually a very, very important part of this. Okay. So instead of making it super complicated with like all these different charts about like, well, here's 15 things that all of us offer, and, I only do 3 of them and they do 5. The big thing is the rental contract. The rental contract thing is a very big thing. Okay. Especially when it comes to workforce. Again, corporations operate all of their operations on contracts. All of their clients are on contracts. So then coming to platforms where it's a virtual handshake through a terms of services agreement is very foreign to them, and they don't like it. But on shorter stays, it's okay. Like the booking.coms, the Expedias, the Orbits, Kayak, going to a conference for 2 days. Okay, no big deal. This is typical. But these longer extended stays, they want the contract. So that's what separates us in a big way. We're actually floating out in space on our own right now. Now, there's other companies like Trip.com and Travel Perk that have been looking into short-term rentals, but they're not built for that platform. They're not built for that system. They're not built for long-term bookings. It's all about how the software user journey is set up. And typically, they're just dealing with corporations that are just doing these short stays at hotels. They're going to keep pushing hotels. So that's why we really don't have the same model. Now, I want to talk about traction. Traction. This was very important for us. For a couple of years, there have been a lot of geniuses in the software world, tech world, that have been talking about building out in the open. Building out in the open means that You're not super stealthy, quiet about it, and then you release this big product. No, you actually engage with your community. You engage with your users. You engage with like who are the people that are going to be supporting this platform. So last year, Dajanique and I, we did something like really different. We just said, you know what? Let's create a Facebook page. Let's create a Facebook group. Let's put like a motto of this is the platform that puts hosts first. That was our motto. That was our thing. We want to put hosts first. And we put out this battle cry throughout throughout Facebook. And we said, hey, are you getting blocked? Are you getting your account shut down? Are these platforms not taking care of you? Do you want a platform that puts you first? Come join the Workbnb App Coalition. And slowly it started to grow. Now it's not a huge group because we didn't do any paid advertising. You know, we were just late nights jumping into people's conversations, hearing their complaints and their rants. And we said, well, hey, how about an app for traveling workers? Do you think that would be cool? Okay, we'll come over. And it slowly grew to about 400 people throughout 39 states. And they represented, right now we're over 550 that represent about 39,000 3,900 properties, sorry, 3,900 properties. Okay, so that was great. That was really great for us to have like a test bed. What we did was we put our early business plan in there. We put our policies and procedures in there. We told them about the 5%. We told them about the SaaS model. And I mean, we got feedback. That was the main thing. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh my gosh, this is a great idea. And we slowly started to form a business. And then what we did was we started to form a product. And once that really kind of started to come together, then I launched my mentorship program, the Workforce Rental Prodigies, which is only 20 people. And this small group only manages, here I say 200 properties, but it's actually like 300 now. But I said, we're going to do what's called an alpha test. We're going to test this with Ames Construction, the 74th largest industrial general contractor in the United States. This contractor, I actually got my start with. You know, we helped them with a very large freeway expansion project in Reno. They had to, you know, bring in workers. They were not from Reno. They just won the bid. And, you know, they needed housing for 5 months for this guy and 8 months for these people and 9 months for this. And then they needed the big one for the site supervisor. They needed a 2-bedroom condo for 2.5 years at $200 a night. They didn't blink at my prices at all for anything that we gave them. But again, it's how unique these bookings are. They're long, they're short, they're over here. This one's only for 5 months. So Ames has thrown us so many scenarios. I told them, I said, hey, we need a company that we can trust to test this software out. Now, what do I mean by test? I mean, we have to work out the bugs, the kinks, the little error codes, you know, do that first booking, get that first booking to work, get that first payout to work to the host. Then we got to do it again. And we're going to do it a couple times. And they agreed. They said, you know what? We like you. We don't care about the headaches. Sure. Bring us in. Show us what you can do. Knock our socks off like you've been doing in the past. And we will keep, you know, bringing our guys to Workbnb. And I said, okay, let's do this. So, you know, we did the whole thing. We signed them up. We got them on. We have, you know, good information about what they need in Texas and in Florida and various other types of states. So the booking process is going to start very, very soon. Now, the only thing that is preventing us from booking today is that we are funding this operation ourselves. So it's a little slow when you're bootstrapping a tech startup. So right now, what we're doing is we're reaching out to small investment communities. We did put together what's called a We Funder round. Now, the We Funder round is going to be exciting because small individual people can contribute to it. But also, this is what my main thing is. We're actually going to take this to a client for them to invest in. Now, what do I mean by a client? Not only am I talking about that Ames Construction can invest in us, because I actually learned this recently. This is actually something that big companies do. They actually do invest in some companies that they work with. But also, I was reached out to. There was the executive. His name is David Williams. He's the VP of automation for AT&T. He reached out to me through LinkedIn, was just like super excited about Workbnb. He was just like ranting and raving. And I said, well, what's going on with AT&T? How can I help you? And he said, well, during the pandemic, we were not allowed to let 40,000 of our workers work from home because of telecom regulations that the FCC has. You can't have access to credit cards and socials on unsecured networks. So these workers couldn't work from home. They had to be at AT&T facilities. So a lot of these employees quit. They had hiring problems. It was just a huge mess for them all this time during the pandemic. Now his department came up with some kind of encryption technology. It was like an encryption portal that they're going to now allow 40,000 AT&T employees to be able to work from anywhere. That's a lot of people. So my first thought was like, hey, well, how can we get your encryption portal, in all of the Workbnbs? That would be cool. He said, I would love to do a pilot program. Let's get the details together. Now, when I went to research AT&T, I saw that they were investing in a lot of minority-owned businesses, which we happen to be minorities. So we're putting out the offer to them to lead our investment round. And guys, I'm just asking you to say a prayer for me, because if we get AT&T as leading our investment round, we're going to be able to scale up our operation pretty big and pretty fast. But as of right now, we're solely focused on revenue. So what do I mean by revenue? Is that today we're doing a lot of bookings off app. In fact, I'm helping a tech company relocate from California to Orlando, and they could not wait for the app to be done. They said, we need the housing now. We will pay you. Can we get it done? I had to get operators here to help me set up units, and we're going to get them moved in by next week. So, those are actual bookings that we're just doing off app, excuse me. But essentially, once we start to scale up our operation, we're going to be doing some key hirings. We're going to be hiring a chief financial officer, a communications director, and a product manager, chief engineer, and a data scientist. This is all very, very exciting for us, and we're going to keep things moving. Now, currently, our team is very small. You have myself as chairman. Dajnik Staples is our lead designer, and she's also leading a very, very big push. What we're going to be pushing is that big property management companies like Greystar are going to be agreeable to renting out their units, corporate leases, to Workbnb operators, because they do not like vacation, but they love corporate. So it's going to be a very big push for Dajnik Staples to get Greystar to green light all of our Workbnb operators, but that's going to be her position as president. And then we have operations manager. We have, a very small team, and then we have a senior app developer who brings a lot of experience to our team. He's done work with Capital One and some other banking apps. Now, also, we were accepted into Microsoft for Startups, which is a program that gets us access to a lot of their technology, support, mentorship, guidance, all kinds of things. But my favorite part is the Microsoft Marketplace. What do I mean by that? Well, Microsoft has its own app marketplace where it is accessible to other businesses. So I'm working with the VP over at Microsoft for Startups to do a pilot program with not only Microsoft employees, but other clients of theirs so that they can use our platform for travel. I think that's going to give us a big lift, a big revenue boost. And by Q3, we're going to start to see some really big numbers coming in. My goal on the host side is somehow, some way, you guys got to pray for me, to get 100,000 properties on the platform by the end of the year. That's going to be a heck of a goal because we're only starting with a few thousand to get started. And the alpha test is only going to be 300. But we do believe that once the operators start showing off who their clients are and how big their payouts are, it's actually going to be a wonderful experience to see a lot of properties pivot away from vacation to workforce and help these traveling workers out.
Hey, let me interrupt you here, bro.
Sure.
Because I want to open it up for so we can pepper you with some questions.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead, you guys. How about don't share, stop the screen share there, and we'll open it all
I
up.
got you.
You guys, let's hit them with some questions. Go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll take that. We want to hit that for the last 10 minutes. See if you guys have any questions. Go ahead and raise your hand, and I will call on you. All right, Coben and then Justin.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Sounds good. I'm in the dark. I actually was listening in the dark, but hey, so by the way, I'm just like, I love the ambition of 100 units by the end of the year. Way to go, man. 100,000, 100K.
100,000.
Amazing.
Now, listen, like I didn't go to the media with that yet. Like nobody's a reporter here.
Hey,
yeah, no, but I'm all in. And so like, once because I'm in the Midwest, are you, how exactly will, when I sign up and everything of that nature, will it perform somewhat like just Airbnb? They just come with you, or they just ask to have a regular lease with you for a longer period of time? I'm not clear on that. I might have missed it at the beginning, how that works.
Okay. All right. So again, I mean, here's the thing. They're going to enter into a corporate lease with you. That is really going to be the big distinction there. Because even if they're staying for 3 months, they need the right to extend. And, they're not going to take your word on a handshake that you're going to, block out dates for them. So now I didn't get too far into the weeds, but in that rental agreement, you're going to set terms. So one of the terms are, and we're going to advise you a lot on this, is that we're going to, as a platform, we're going to require that corporation to give you a deposit on those dates. Okay. And it's going to be a use it or lose it deposit. So like, let's say they're booking with you for 3 months, but they want the right to extend for another month. Now you are blocking that time out for them. They're going to put a deposit, let's say it's 500. And let's say per your settings, because you're the driver, you say, I want the extension to be activated, let's say 10 days before checkout. Okay. if they don't comply, which is in the rental agreement, it's in the contract,
They lose
they
the
lose
deposit. Got it.
okay? And we're gonna leave it there. Workbnb is not going to get into the weeds of what the rental agreement said. That was between you two. You set the terms, right?
Mhm.
Now, on the other side, there's going to be cases where, there's like situations and various other types of things. So, one of the things that we're really looking at right now, and I haven't announced this, I haven't put out a press release yet,
I don't
but
say
we
yeah.
are.
Hey, I want to get some rapid fires. We want to do some.
Okay,
rapid
go
fires.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. Let's go with Justin, and we're gonna go with Nicole and John, and then Ken, and then Linda. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking my question. So I'm wondering what your target host looks like. So are you trying to get a host that has 30 units that's going to, snap up all of these? Because a lot of us working, for instance, I just have 2 units. Could I host on your platform, or would I have to have more units?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we want my target host wants to host traveling workers. That's the main thing. Like, you have 1 unit, I want you. that's the main thing. But again, we're gonna have this criteria that you have to be, incorporated. You cannot be a sole proprietor, because there's too many people that are doing this as a side gig, as a side hustle, and they make huge mistakes. Okay. So we're kind of like separating the wheat from the chaff, right? And we're making this a more standardized platform so that the experience is just as equal from one unit to another.
So I'm going to sneak in another question. So can we host on multiple platforms, or do we have to be loyal to your platform?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It would be atrocious of us as a new startup to require you to only be on our platform. I think that's too much. We just want the opportunity. And if you get a booking from Airbnb, we're not going to be upset. It's no big deal. We just need units, and we need as many as possible. And, we're going to have to be flexible.
All right. That's great. Let's go Nicole, then Ken, then Linda.
Yeah, my question is, you said you had to have insurance. So what type of insurance are you talking about? You mean regular rental insurance or like business insurance? What kind of insurance?
Right. So we're still working on all of the insurance requirements, but the main thing is, yes, we do want you to have rental insurance. This is going back to what I was about to say, but I'm working right now with Super Hog. They're going to be working out a special program for us, and it will be a very unique product for only workforce rentals. I'm working with their leadership right now, and it's going to be something special. So I'm excited when the press release goes out.
Yeah, you got a
question real quick.
Go ahead, John.
How can we invest if we can?
So I have a WeFunder page. Now, I gotta tell you, this WeFunder thing is very new to me as well. Okay. I actually have to file paperwork with the SEC. So I'm not allowed to take anything at the moment. All I'm allowed to tell you is about it. And I'm only allowed to take a reservation. Okay. So I'll just drop it here in the comments. What the page is, it's right there. It's wefunder.com. It is equity. You will take equity in our company. This is what's typically called a pre-seed round. Now, here's what's scary. Right now, we're being approached by venture capitalists very, very early, which leads us to believe that they believe our pre-money valuation's over 10 million. And we don't want to take their money because we still haven't launched the app yet. So if we take their money, they're going to want more than 50% of our company. So that's why we decided to do this.
Right, and I'll make sure everyone knows when they're ready to take some investors as well. All right. How about you, Ken?
Okay, is the app going to be compatible with like owner res?
Yes, yes. So we're gonna make it the APIs compatible because we know that you have property management software with other calendars and other things, other management systems. So we're not going to require you to use a calendar from us. In fact, our first generation will not have a calendar and it will not have messaging where we're monitoring your messages. We're going to put you directly in touch with the company and the company's employees so that you have direct communication.
All right, let's go with Linda and then Lee, LB.
First, this is Linda. First, wow, this is a great concept. Really looking forward for it to get up and running. On the technical side, how close are you to having the app built? I know that it sounds like you're doing a beta with Ames Construction, but
Right.
how close are you to just getting that technical side done?
So it's so annoying because I'm not a coder. So for example, I was playing on the demo app just a couple of weeks ago, and I went to go take my profile picture, and when I posted it, it was sideways. You know, it's just these little like bugs and tweaks and things that we have to get right because we don't want to annoy you. We don't want you to be like, oh, this save button isn't working. Like I pressed it 3 times and then like a minute later it works. Like, you know, we just want to go through a couple of cycles so that we're very confident that you are going to have the best experience in this first go. We're not worried about it looking like super pretty. I mean, it will look nice. It will look okay. But here's the other thing, guys. This is why this is so complicated. We have to make 2 different versions. We have to make a version for Android, and then we have to make a version for iOS. So, you know, we don't want to do what Clubhouse did, which is come out with the Android, and then all the iOS people are all pissed off. Like we really want to come out with both. So here's what our estimated target is. We're going to do our first booking the 2nd week of April. Okay. We're going to try to do 20 to 50 bookings with Ames Construction. And this is with our small team. I mean, it's just a very small team with 300 properties. But we want to get at least 25 to 50 bookings down before we start to go into that beta direction. Okay. So we're talking about maybe the 1st week of May, maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of May. I mean, it's right in that area. But what I'm really hoping for, again, this is why I was telling Al, I don't want to do anything fun for the summer until like we get this out. So June is my big target to start uploading, you know, 50,000, you know, and do a bigger beta test.
All right. LB, what you got?
Hey, Al, Lee is good. So Yves, I think this sounds good. And I'm a newbie in this field, but have been following Al pretty closely for the last year and a half or so. And I would be very interested in signing up with you. Now, you're looking for funding, and I'm wondering, out of that 100,000, how many do you have currently signed up?
Oh, okay. So as far as signups go, I mean, every time I drop a new article, every time a new article comes out, I mean, the numbers keep moving.
Okay, so you're saying that there's a way for us to sign up already?
Yes. So if you go to workbnbapp.com, we have instructions for you to sign up. Now that's for the beta. You're going to sign up for the beta test. Okay.
Okay. Well,
that's
my point though, is that 100,000 at $10 is $1 million. So if you're looking for funding, I think that would be the emphasis there, is get your 100,000.
That is really what we're looking at, is why we're not taking VC money. We don't want to take VC money because we know we can get to that number. But see, here's the thing. Just to even get to this point has already cost us $70,000. Like
Right.
we're, like,
So-
you know what I mean?
So I want to be
we are
clear.
putting-
I want to be clear. I want to suggest to you that you refine your presentation because all of us here would be interested in signing up with you, but you didn't have that information in your presentation. So,
well, yes, you're right.
so I mean, that
You're
would
right.
be that would be a lot of money fast. So just
Yes,
just
yes.
a suggestion
well,
as
here's-
far as refining your presentation to the audience that you're presenting to.
Yeah, well, here's the one thing that I will say about that is that because our model with the hosts is a subscription model, right? We have to have a working app for you to start paying that monthly fee, right? So here's what we're doing. We're doing the WeFunder thing because what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to release some equity to you guys early, right? Where you can actually own a piece of Workbnb so that when we get to a larger valuation and we do a larger round, you were a part of the ride with us, okay? And WeFunder allows you to do as little as $100. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like very small.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Suggestions.
But isn't there, yeah,
Hang on,
You
Linda.
need to
Linda.
have a presentation for those of us who have doors, and you need to have a presentation for investors. Some of
Yeah.
us will be both, but in order to refine your presentation so that you can get through the whole thing, I'd strongly urge you to get some clarity on those two audiences.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to be eager to help you, but you need to get it concise and clear.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, and just to kind of tag on to what Lee said, I think I understood that there was some kind of onboarding fee, like a sign up with your company fee. And then there was a $10 subscription. So
Okay,
you could
yeah.
certainly collect an onboarding fee before you had an app that would allow the subscription fee to be charged. Just an idea.
I actually cleared it with our attorney. He didn't advise it. He was like,
Okay.
what you want to do is you don't want to upset your community by taking a fee. And then for some reason, there's a delay. And then people start asking for that feedback. He said, this was just his advice, and again, we're a startup. And we do want to bring a really good product to market. Now, again, we're super close and we're funding it ourselves. So we're doing bookings off app right now with some big clients, just so that we could speed this process up. But again, when you have companies that are coming to you, like they're coming to us and they're like, well, can we invest in you? Can we be a part of this? We want to give them that opportunity because again, having an AT&T as an investor is huge for a very small startup because now it's not just money, it's also bookings as well. It's just a unique strategy, but I appreciate the feedback. We will make sure that we have this buttoned down.
All right, all right. Hey, we want to keep it to an hour, and thank all of you guys for all your feedback. I wanted to I met with Yabez early, and I wanted Tim to get in front of you guys so that we can have our input, make sure that that he keeps us in mind. One thing I wanted to clarify. One thing I wanted to clarify is when you say in the shopping cart they can grab multiple listings.
Right.
That means different owners as well. So
Right.
someone with one unit can be part of that group.
Be a part of that group. And again, the software is going to fractionalize that, send individual contracts to each individual operator, but you're going to be a part of a bulk booking. We call it bulk bookings. That's the term that we came up with. And this is a problem. We interviewed a lot of companies, and when they said they're trying to do housing for 30, 40 people, it's almost impossible to find housing, for that many people. So having a platform where everybody is pointed in the right direction and saying we have our units available, it's going to give these operators that opportunity to do that.
Yep, just come right to extended stay for landlords and grab all of us, and we'll satisfy the need. That's just how that's how this is gonna roll. All right,
That's how
everybody.
it's going to go. Thank you.
Hey, send your feedback to him about his presentation. He'll appreciate that, and I'll keep updating you guys. All right. All right. I'll see you guys next month.
All right. Thank
Good
you,
night.
guys.